coast to coast, it's your hosts, the Lombardi Leap and Mersey FB. This is Beyond the Frozen Tundra.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Your hosts here, Lombardi and Mersey. And guess what? The Packers draft came and gone. No first-round pick.
Well, we did have a first-round pick.
It did not matter.
It was Micah Parsons.
I think. Oh yeah, we did. We had the best
Yes.
first-round pick in the draft, if you ask me.
I concur.
A+ there, Micah Parsons. ACL and all is still an A+. I like one of the things that I talk about that I've mentioned in the past is just in regards to draft grades. You can't really grade a draft right away. It usually takes about what? I think they say, like
3 to 4, yeah.
3 to 4 years before you can really tell the player impact, how that player developed. But one of the things I think you can grade is the process, is how well did the process go? And I think you and I both agree here. I think we like the process. I think it's an A+ for process.
Yeah,
I'd say.
pretty much. I mean, you trade the 2 firsts for Micah Parsons at the beginning of the season when you haven't yet evaluated this draft class. And then, because it's different from like the Bengals evaluating the draft class, going, okay, at 10, there's nobody we would want more than Dexter Lawrence. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, aging Dexter Lawrence.
Yes, our process is definitely better having the second round pick and staying at 52, I think, as well.
Yeah, because there were quite a few people on the board at 52 where, like, I wouldn't have shocked me if they would have traded.
Yeah, like Cisse was on the board. CJ Allen was on the board. Both Dominique Orange and who else? Miller and Lee went in the 40s, which I kind of think they were like, okay, we can't really wait on defensive tackle a lot more, but like there were still good players on the board. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren was on the board. We were never taking a safety. Anthony Hill Jr. was on the board. According to the Jags, Nate Borkacher was still on the board. Sorry to any Jags fan who might be listening, but like, woof. Yes.
There were some head scratcher picks by some organization.
Just kind of top to bottom here. And at pick 52, you take Brandon Cisse, the corner out of South Carolina. And then at pick 77, I believe is what it was. They traded up.
Yeah, they traded up.
They included pick 84 and the 5th round pick from the Eagles this year to go up to 77 and take Chris McClellan, the defensive tackle from Missouri. And then at pick 120, they take Dennis Sutton in the 4th round. Who they
tried to trade back up for in the 3rd.
And then it was 153 or 160 that they took Jager Burton or Jagger.
I do believe it's Jagger.
Sorry. It's Jagger Burton.
It is Jagger, yeah.
Jagger
bomb, Jagger Burton.
Oh, we shall call him Moose.
I know.
They took Moose in the 5th round. And that's in the 6th round, pick 201, they took Damani Jackson, cornerback, Alabama. And then they traded up to the end of the 6th round, literally the last pick, trading away both 7th rounders to take Trey Smack, the kicker from Florida. And so at the top of this class, I'm higher on Cisse than you are because I went back and watched the tape on him and McClellan last night because I legitimately could not sleep. But I think you're higher on McClellan than I am. So do you want to start with Cisse first?
Yeah, I'll let you diffuse why my critiques here on Cisse. But like, I have zero problems with this frame. Like, I think he's athletic. I think he's young, which is what they were looking for. I guess I kind of gave this, if I want to grade the pick fairly, like I know I said overall I give it an A+, but like realistically I give this entire draft class like that they picked, I'd say an A-. Like I think that's a fair kind of process grade of A-.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't reach for Cisse. I'm happy they didn't reach for Cisse. Although some people had him as corner 2 or 3, depending on how you viewed McCoy's knee injury. We obviously know McCoy fell.
Yeah, the McCoy thing,
to say the least,
is really interesting. Side note, take a second to think about the names in that corner room that they've got right now in the Raiders. Eric Stokes, Jermod McCoy, Darian Porter as your top 3. Darian Porter is bad. That's why they also got Hezekiah Masses. So, but
yeah, that corner.
No, hey, don't hate on Stokes. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if Stokes and McCoy stay healthy, wow. But like, it'll be good.
It'll be good. Yeah, it'll be good. Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. It'll be good if those two, because I mean, Eric Stokes had a career turnaround, and obviously, like McCoy was a first round talent, like certified until the whole knee issues came out. But when it comes to Cisse, I gave the grade, I gave the pick itself probably like a B, just because one, like I said, he didn't reach. He is athletic. He is explosive. He is athletic. He does have the length. I have no issues with the speed. I didn't really see any hip issues on tape, which again, one of my biggest things that I look at for corners is how
Right.
are they a fluid mover? I do think he's a fluid mover. The issues that I have are more I don't know. I should say, there are certain aspects of the game like intuition that I'm not sure you can teach, and I don't know if he has them. And I'm worried about his ability to route recognize. I feel like he does tend to, because he is a faster corner, that he doesn't necessarily rely on his technique as much because he thinks that he is going to be able to use that explosive athleticism to overcome ground if he makes a mistake. Like I've seen games where he makes he's very hesitant on making a decision, and then when he makes a decision, he goes the wrong way. I'm like, buddy. And a lot of that has to most of that playmaking most of those poor playmaking decisions typically have to do with when he's coming back to the ball. So that's my biggest concern. And I'm looking at this from a perspective of one, our corners one and two are Keyshawn Nixon and Carrington Valentine.
I'm sorry. I know it's not like a high bar, but I think he's immediately better than both of them.
Well, I think that Carrington Valentine doesn't get lost in zone. And that is my biggest concern with Cisse is how well is he going to adjust to playing zone in the NFL? I know he can play press man. I know he can. Like I've seen him play that. He's not afraid to get hands on people. He just doesn't. He doesn't consistently read the quarterback, or he gets caught. It's not that he doesn't read the quarterback. It's that he gets caught watching the quarterback way too much. Which again, that's what leads him to struggle coming back to the ball.
Yeah,
he's too busy watching. And he's had good games. Like he's had good games. He went from the Wolf. He went from South Carolina right to the Gamecocks.
I think it was NC
North
State,
Carolina.
right?
He went from he started out. Yeah. He started out at NC State, and then he did make the jump. And that, I was a big fan of that.
They had some guys
this past year.
Yeah,
I thought they were really good.
I don't think sorry to cut you off, but I don't think the zone errors are as egregious. Watching the film back, and I also watched the Texas A&M game where Casey Conception took his lunch money for a good part of it. A lot of it was late double moves or routes where he's lined up against KC, but he's also in a cover 3 drop, and then KC breaks across the middle. So the scheme didn't really help him. Also, there was one where a late double move that KC pulled out, where I think Brandon thought he had safety help over the top. The safety was late to get over the top, which resulted in the big play. But again, Cisse then realized this and caught up to KC to actually at least tackle him. So you rarely ever get a big play touchdown over him. His makeup speed is very good. And part of where the makeup speed, I think he plays faster than the 4.4 he ran on at the combine or his pro day. Can't quite remember where it was, but his ability to click and close is exceptional. He will,
it is part so smooth.
Okay, yes, he makes the wrong read sometimes, but when he can see where the quarterback is throwing to, he is there in an instant. And yes, he's the highest drafted corner since Eric Stokes. I think he's a more fluid mover than Eric Stokes is. And I think he kind of knows how to play the position a little bit better than Eric did. He is a natural feel for the ball.
I think he knows how to play press man
more
better.
Natural feel for where the ball is. He doesn't get as grabby as a Davison Igbinosun does, which is nice. So
no, not at all. And it's because he is a better mover. It realistically is. And I guess, my biggest worry was, and I guess the reason is I graded the pick necessarily a little bit lower than most people. I'm worried about, like I said, the zone, the jump, going to the NFL, because I'm okay, I want to win now, and I liked guys who I thought were better immediately. obviously, like I was a big fan of Malik Muhammad. You and I both liked Keith Abney.
Yeah, I kind of like got off the Abney hype train near the end of the year, but
he did fall out of favor.
Yeah, but like also if Cisse can come in and just be like, okay, you're the left corner, take away that guy on the side of the field like exclusively, sure.
So just kind of reduce the if they can if Gannon reduces the load.
If you're like you're the left corner, you play up, you would just play like press man on the guy in front of you, or not press man, you just man up the guy in front of you, and then we'll do the rest kind of thing. If you want to really ease him in, but like I think the zone stuff's like fine. He allowed a completion percentage of 47%. That's less than 50. PFF had him as a better zone coverage guy than a man coverage guy. But again, like the man coverage is above average. Got that passer rating down again this year when targeted. Probably would have had the best passer rating allowed on the team. Like if he played on Green Bay last year, he would have had the best passer rating allowed. So it's also not surprising.
That's not surprising, actually. Like, I mean, I will say this. I've warmed up to the pick a little bit more. Again, I won't be shocked though if, unfortunately, Malik Muhammad ends up being the best cover corner. Let me preface that by saying best cover corner in the draft. But Cisse does have the tools to be good. I just like, again, a team within a window now. I was kind of hoping they would take a more ready corner.
I think part of what they like is how willing he is to come downhill and hit. However, this is my concern for him. He doesn't tackle like great. Like the technique's not like amazing. He's often like diving, trying to like swipe out feet and everything like that. If you could teach him to actually like wrap up and kind of go like shoulder to hip or thigh board and then like wrap up and tackle through the player, I think that would be a lot better. Yeah, not be an ankle grabber. If you could get him to tackle through the ball carrier, that's fine. I mean, also, like, a lot of my coverage concerns are mitigated by the fact that we got that new DB coach.
That is a good point. I think that he is set up for success, and hopefully, like, he does.
Also, when you think about it, with, like, Micah rushing off the edge, especially if you're in a 5-man front where you can't double team Micah as much, or if you do, someone else will hopefully win or be unblocked. Think of how quick the ball has to come out on certain passing downs.
True. That is true. And they do have the means now to retool this defense, which that kind of leads into our 3rd round pick here, who they traded up for, Chris McClellan. And I'm like, I kind of knew he was going to be the pick eventually. Like, you just kind of knew they were going to pick somebody from Mizzou. Like, you did. Like, we've talked about this on the show repeatedly. I've said when it comes to Mizzou players, I mean, they're there for 3 games and a practice. They're picking somebody from Mizzou.
So with the defensive tackle board that was there in the 3rd round, I totally see why they would have traded up to get him. I mean, we both liked Dominique Orange as like a pass rush upside, but like he doesn't have the same twitch that McClellan does.
McClellan is interesting.
5 sacks with Mizzou. I mean, granted, that had Damon Wilson and Zion Young. Zion Young was a 2nd round pick, and Damon Wilson got like $4 million in the portal. So, but exactly. Like 5 sacks is pretty productive. 2 batted passes, 11 QB hurries, pretty solid PFF grades. I will say my concerns with him, I think, are fixable. It's just if you want him to have an immediate impact, these concerns are very valid. He sometimes can look uncomfortable in his stance, and then off the snap immediately shoot up, immediately stand up and get like play vertical, and that gives up pad level to the offensive lineman, but still able to make
It's because of his knee level. Like, that's the big thing. His knee is like, he doesn't really have like the knee bend. I don't know why it is there. I don't know why he lacks knee bend, because what is he? He's 6'4". He's a little bit taller.
But he's strong, dude.
When it comes to defensive.
He pushes people around, like 34-inch arms, 313 pounds. I think like double teams kind of can't really move him, but like he doesn't have the same double team technique that like you'd like to see. He doesn't try and like corkscrew ever. He's just like, I'm just gonna stand here and not be moved.
Yeah, he does just try to anchor the spot when he needs to fight through it more. And like, he can fight through it because I mean he has some of the biggest hands from my understanding, he has some of the biggest hands, 11-inch hands. Like that is
wow.
That's insane.
I'm just pulling up his RAS and like measurables right now.
I mean, yeah, I think that like one of his best games. I mean, we talked about how one of Cisse's worst games was Texas A&M. One of McClellan's best games was against Texas A&M, and I think that's important because Texas A&M had a solid offensive line.
I think one of them got Chase Bisontes got drafted high. I was thinking of the other one. Bisontes got drafted high. Zune got drafted. Crownover got drafted. So they had dudes on the offensive line. What I think was more telling is his Auburn game.
Best game.
Even though he's like, you know Jeremiah Wright, how strong Jeremiah Wright is.
Yeah.
He realized, okay, I'm not moving you off the point. I'm just gonna run right by you, and like looped around him for a sack. His Auburn game was very strong. So
yeah, what is weird? Like I agree with that. Like what is kind of odd is that he kind of like his RAS score tells you like he's not really bendy.
Like,
but
I think he's a better football player
honestly,
than Tester, which is like the opposite of what I'm going to say about our 4th round pick.
Like, I mean, he tested, what is it, 8.48 unofficial. I mean, I look at this, like a 10-yard split of 1.8.
Not great, but like fine.
I'm like,
it's playable.
That's not great. Yeah, I mean, his explosive was fine. But then I look at it and I'm like, you're a violent person. And he'll power through blocks.
Yeah.
And just go around them. And I'm like, what? Like, how did you do that? Like, you shouldn't move like that. Like, I see your knee bend and it's lacking, and yet you just.
He's very versatile. Like he can be a 3-tech. He can be a shade nose. I don't think you'd ever play him as a true 0, but like as a shade nose, he
gets lost.
Pretty good. I think he'd come in and do that right away because Green Bay doesn't really have anything else at that position, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, who are you going to double? I mean, Devontae Wyatt's good at anchoring, too. I mean, and so it's like, who are you going to stop?
Can I go on a small tangent here? I really think they have the bodies now to do like a 4-2-5, like nickel-style base defense. Because you live in nickel now. I think if you can have LVN, and Baron Sorrell as your like true defensive end types. Wyatt and Hargrave play the same role as like the pass rushing. Brinson can do both the run stuffing and the pass rushing defensive tackle stuff. And then McClellan is like your shade nose. And then you have Micah and Dani Dennis Sutton and Colin Oliver play the jack. But I think Dani Dennis Sutton could also be a defensive end for you. And then you have your 2 linebackers. Zaire's more the coverage guy. Coop, you can move wherever. And then you have the secondary pretty filled out, right? Cisse and Benjamin St-Juste are ideally your starters. Bullard in the slot. That's his job to lose. And then your safeties are Evan Williams and Xavier McKinney. That's fine.
And it is important to know, because we haven't talked about this, and you just briefly brought it up. But St-Juste is actually a good zone corner. Like when he's played,
I would definitely like to see, instead of like a 3-4 or a 4-3, do a 4-2-5. And if you want an example of how to do it, talk to 2 of the guys you drafted a couple years ago. They came up in that kind of system. So
that is a good point. That's a good tangent.
Because it's just being able to stop the run in that and not being gashed for 5 yards of carry and keeping it down to like 3. So
yeah. And that kind of does necessarily help with not needing a true nose tackle. I mean, I hope Ford or Stackhouse can step up.
Is probably going to develop pretty well.
I think that is there. And if not, there are a couple guys in free agency which the Packers could take a look at again if it doesn't get better. Which I know that Jordan Riley is still technically on the roster.
He'll start the year on PUP for sure.
So,
or you're talking
cut. 9,
yeah, they might injury settle on him.
So I don't think he's going to be back anytime soon there. So they might have to sign one more guy, I think, potentially.
No. I've never factored Riley into my like defensive line plans or anything like that. He's like DT7 for me.
Yeah, I mean
of what is currently on the team, so
Okay, that makes sense. I got you there. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can vibe with that. And I mean, it's another guy though that they're bringing in who's violent. He does have violent hands. He punches. I will say this. He's very good at reading the quarterback. And I think one of the things we kind of lacked last year was the guys who can finish. He can finish. Once he's inside the pocket, he'll finish. Like he will get to the quarterback. I mean, he had 5 sacks. You know what I mean? Which is something that is very, very, very much important. That I think he is known primarily for his run defense, which again they need. You have Wyatt, you have Hardgrave. I think Brinson showed flashes as a pass rusher. We need a guy who can come in right away, anchor, do the dirty work, who has some pass rush upside, and I think that he does have some pass rush upside here. Like now, and you'd mentioned this earlier. He can play all. He can develop into somebody who can play all 3 downs, and it gives him some versatility and move some guys around. Just with like LVN could play inside too as well because he did in college. So now you have McClellan who can pop out. And LVN who can pop out.
I think they just do some fun things on stunts.
Pop inside.
That's the extenting of like how like far outside they go. Yeah, like God.
Gannon does do weird stuff.
I never expect to see McClellan lined up as an edge rusher the way Christian Miller did at Georgia, just because I don't think he's that. Like I just don't think they'll do that. LVN might kick inside on like obvious passing downs just to get someone else on the field as an edge rusher. So yeah,
especially on like 3rd and longs too. I could see that happening. Just to kind of get to the quarterback kind of a thing. But speaking of edge rushers, the next guy who like you'd mentioned this.
Yeah.
Tested better than he played.
Also, one thing, do you want to acknowledge that Wesley Williams went 1 pick before Dani Dennis Sutton? Wesley, not to like, congratulations, you've made life-changing money. You've made it to the league. That's awesome for you. Consensus 332 goes at 119. Like, I don't mean to like crap on the Jags twice this episode, but like, what were they doing?
I don't know what they did this draft. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not a Jags fan. That's all I have to say.
Okay, anyway, Dani Dennis Sutton.
Sorry.
996 RAS. Most like Packers-y edge rusher of all time.
Literally. Like they had him going in the second.
Like, this is our second round pick.
That was the thing. People were picking him. Yeah. And they tried to trade up into the 3rd to get him. And we still got him in the 4th. Which is cool. Don't get me wrong. I think that's perfect value. I think that's great value for him. Like that's where if they were to take an edge rusher named Danny Dennis Sutton, I did not want him anywhere before the 4th.
I wouldn't have taken him.
I mean, you and I both like the defensive end room.
We like the defensive end room.
We do.
I'm not saying like picking a defensive end was a bad play. I would have taken a different defensive end.
Okay. Yeah, I probably would have too.
Where'd he go? Actually, was he off the board before us and I'm just stupid?
With a little more, with better production?
I'm trying to figure out where this guy went.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's okay. He went 147. Josh Josephs.
The Texas Tech one?
So at 120, I would have went with Josephs over Dani Dennis Sutton, even though he didn't test quite as well. I think he's a better edge rusher, has more tools in the bag.
Sutton just seems like a guy who never put it together.
Yeah, but like if you're...
I guess if that...
DDS will for sure be like... He will be like Micah Parsons' like protege, and I totally think he'll develop, but I definitely think it would have been better for...
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think that's how they're going to play him. No, I don't. I think he's going to play more Danielle Hunter type football.
Right.
That's kind of where I see it going with him. Because people try to comp him to JJ Enagbare. I don't see the JJ Enagbare comp at all whatsoever. I never understood that. I think he's definitely more athletic.
He's a little bendier
than JJ Enagbare.
But like not as agile. Like
not much, but he is a little. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Josephs is just like smaller and slightly less explosive in like a broad jump or in the jumping and didn't do like agility stuff. DDS ran a 6.93 cone. Like that's elite. Had pretty good splits and a 40-yard dash. So Joseph's arm length was like 1 inch longer. I guess just call me like an SEC shill, taking the guy from Tennessee instead of the guy from Penn State. But like, this will be one for me to see how. Or like how each player develops.
I think he's another guy with pad level issues. Like that's really like he's a violent dude. He's another again. This seems to be the theme. You know, now that I think about this, the more we talk about this, they drafted violent people.
Why not draft an edge rusher from Tennessee? Have you seen the news? It's
fair.
Bad joke, actually. That one wouldn't have worked. Oh, yeah.
That's fair.
Adam Anderson, man. Oh, shouldn't have done those things.
Yes. I mean, they looked at violence. I mean, like Dennis Day Sutton, Danny Day Sutton. I'm gonna call him Dennis. I don't know why.
Danny Day Sutton. Say DDS. That's what I've been doing.
He did have quite a. He had quite a few roughing the passer. Okay. He had quite a few roughing penalties throughout his career. Like he did. So he's a violent dude. But one of the things they talk about most is, and I agree with, is like he has violent hands. McClellan, violent hands. Cisse, violent hands. Like they aren't afraid to put their hands on a guy.
It's not even that whatsoever. It's just like, and I think you just need a guy to run the arc with Micah on the other side. That's it.
True. Just bend, man. Just get to the quarterback. Just try. Not like Gary and stop halfway while you're there. Sorry, Rashawn Gary.
No, I do think like the pursuit is something that DDS does do well. Like he definitely does pursue the ball carrier, plays with a lot of effort and intensity. You're playing like 320 pass rush snaps. He
does have a nice spin move though too. It is clean.
He will definitely help the room when Micah is gone. So
yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah. So like I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it, I guess.
Yeah, we did.
And we didn't have a 5th round pick.
Jaeger. Jaeger. I did it again. God damn it.
Oh, Jaeger. Yeah, Jaeger. I just forgot. I was like, I'm looking at the Draft Central website, and for some odd reason, Jaeger is all the way at the back, and it just goes from Sutton to Jackson.
Yeah.
So I was like, wait a minute. I'm like,
Jaeger Burton, center from Kentucky. I don't know how much true guard you want him to play, but I think he's our starting center. Well, he should be.
He should be. I'm not gonna lie to you. He should be. I think he's easily better right now than
moves people.
Sean Ryan at center.
Like he moves.
Sean Ryan
people.
is
and like teams. At center.
Teams
like South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, like they didn't even eat him alive. Like he did well for those games too. So Ole Miss, like I think he helps you find your best 5 of Jordan Morgan, Aaron Banks, Jaeger. I'd put Belton and then Tom. Sorry, I was blanking on our star right tackle. That's my bad. And then you play Sean Ryan at whatever guard spot you think like needs help the most, and then you rotate that position. So
yeah, like you could rotate him with Belton if Belton struggles. I think Banks will be fine with Morgan there. Dude, Jaeger was probably my favorite pick. Like he was maybe it was one of the ones that
made me the most excited, which is for like a 5th round pick. Like great.
Yes.
Like I like the Cisse pick.
Oh yeah.
I was okay with the Cisse pick in the moment. I like it more now. I knew DDS would be a Packer because of like the profile and everything. And then when they drafted Jaeger, I was like, oh great, awesome, I love this. This is great. So, and even if he plays,
was my favorite pick.
Like even if he's an average starter for a 5th round pick, that's great. So
and here's the thing too when it comes to centers. Okay, if you've played the position, it's a lot. Again, I'll use this term in air quotes here. It's easier. Again, people, I'm putting this in air quotes. You're still in the NFL. It's easier to go if you've played center on college to start right away as a center in the NFL. In fact, I encourage it. That's something I typically do encourage, just because you need to get the playbook down, and the best way you can do that and build rapport with your center is by snapping the ball to the center, to your quarterback. And Sean Ryan is effectively on a 1-year deal. They can cut bait with him next year. I want my rookie center playing. Jaeger, Bruce.
Yeah,
I did it too. He is such a high football IQ, and that's what I love. Like he is a smart football player. He moves. I love the way he pulls and climbs. I think he's very elite in a zone scheme, which is what they run. You need to have Jaeger out there to start. I think he is better right now, and I'm not sure that the Packers pull that versatility shtick with him.
I hope not.
I think that he does compete for center. I hope not. Maybe I'm believing, maybe I have false hope here. Because like when he's at guard, it's weird. When he plays guard, it's like his lower half of his body isn't on the same page as the upper half of his body at guard. But when he plays center, everything just syncs up. And it's night and day difference of when he plays guard versus center. Like, can he play guard? Yes, but it's super awkward. It is super awkward when he plays guard. When he's at center, it is like, wow. He can hold up, I think, against just about anybody. I think he fits perfectly as the starting center here. I think Josh Jacobs is going to love him. I think Jordan Love is going to love him. And I think Banks and Belton will love him too, just because he does have the ability to help a lot better than what Sean Ryan did last year. I know some people are like, oh, I don't think Sean Ryan played that bad. The only reason people say that is because of how bad Elton Jenkins played at center. That is realistically the only reason.
I mean, our second round picks, our sixth round picks are Damani and Trey Smack. I think just like Damani Jackson struggled with something, whether like mental health issues, confidence issues this year. It was something. But if you go back to the 2024 tape, I think it's a lot stronger. Yeah,
2024, I had a third round grade on him, and I wanted the Packers to take him last draft in the third, but he chose to go back. And like you said, he did. He admitted, Clinton Dix, former Packer, is the director of player development there at Alabama now. And and so Dominique Jackson straight up said, "Hey, I'm good friends with
Yeah.
He helped me get through stuff this past year." And that was my biggest critique on him. It wasn't my biggest critique wasn't his athleticism. Like, I knew he's athletic. He's explosive. He has the straight line speed to be able to cover. Like, he is a boundary corner. I think he's smooth in man coverage. I think he has great recovery speed. I mean, he's a former 5-star recruit too, so he has the pedigree. I just think that what took place last year was he played distracted, and it looked like he was disinterested at time. Like, and I thought he quit. I think this is like maybe early into the draft process. We talked about him, and I said I like Damani Jackson's raw ability, but I just didn't like the fact that it seemed like he quit on his team. Well, it turns out there might have been something going on off the field.
If he's able to like even contribute in a meaningful way for a 6th round pick, it is a great pick and not like quite a home run. If he becomes like a solid rotational starter, then like, home run. But I think he can contribute contribute on special teams, which he'll need to do. And
easily. As a gunner, someone opposite Bo Melton.
But like, there is always the concern of like, oh, why did the 5-star recruit never put it together at USC or Alabama? I think like you've like had him changing through schemes a lot in his career, but let him get his head back, or help him get his head back, get confident again, and then you've really got like a good player. Speaking of special teams,
I'll say one more thing about Dominique Jackson. It would not shock me if Dominique Jackson does become the eventual starter opposite of Cisse.
Because Nixon's gone after this year. More than likely, they don't re-sign Valentine. They might bring back BSJ, but he's like almost 30. He's on 2-year deal.
I think he's on a 2-year deal.
On that, I'm pretty sure when his deal expires, he will be 30. So I definitely see that.
I'm assuming they'll draft another one next year too, as well. High.
Yes,
my guess, because you can never have enough good corners. I hope they've learned that.
Brandon McManus, you've lost your job.
Drafted a kicker. Legitimately, he got schmacked. Brandon McManus got smacked, which is crazy because they paid McManus.
But I don't think I don't think they thought Smack would be available.
Really, you think they thought Smack was going to go higher?
He was like the kicker in this draft. If you needed a kicker, you would have taken Smack. And I could think of like 5 teams who would have been in on Smack in like the early 6th. So if no one's going to do it, we'll take him. Which is like, sure. But
here's his college career stats here. I've played 44 games. He's 100 for 101.
That's important.
On extra points. He is, 53 for 60 out of 64 for, so 82.8% on field goals, 259 points there. And so he's also 6'1", 188 extra points.
I think he could make a tackle on teams if he had to. But you wouldn't really want him to.
Let's hope. Let's hope we don't let's hope that. Another thing too. All right, his Trey Smack's mentor.
Crosby, right?
Same one for the legendary Crosby.
People might be like, oh my God, we drafted a kicker. This is Anders Carlson all over again. No, it's not. Anders Carlson was a developmental kicker. Like, if you look at their college stats, Smack is better in almost every category.
Yeah. Anders Carlson was Rich Bisaccia's doing.
No, Rich Bisaccia.
This is very much the pack. This is not Rich Bisaccia. This is very much the Packers are like, okay,
hold on.
Does he make kicks?
The roster bonus they gave to McManus, would they have hired Acord before or after that? When did Acord get hired?
March. That's a great. I wonder if it was after. That is a great question.
I'm searching this up. You're gonna have to edit the audio of my keyboard out of this.
Hold on, I'll get it. Oh, no.
Cam. They hired him in February 27th.
So that was close.
Probably didn't have time to like feel good about it and get through the process of like looking at.
Oh no, he was. So he was brought in. It says. No, I was writing that wrong. So yeah, February 27th. Yeah,
he probably didn't have enough time to get through the process
at all whatsoever
on kickers, just like whether like free agents or draft eligible guys to be like, hey, I'm confident in this guy. Let's go cut off McManus, and because also like if they had zeroed in on Smack, if a team beat them to Smack, what are they going to do? So paying McManus the $1 million roster bonus isn't really the biggest deal. It's just more of like a nice little present as he walks out the door now, in all honesty. But
like, yeah, it's like, hey, we appreciate what you did. We appreciate you kicking here, but maybe they'll try and trade him. Maybe somebody will trade like a 7th round pick for him who needs a kicker. But obviously they'll do the competition kind of
quote unquote competition.
I'm happy with it.
Oh, I know it can get a little windy in Lambeau. What's the wind down there in Gainesville for games sometimes? Will that throw them off or like?
Dude, it gets
okay.
It gets windy in Florida. For those of you who don't know, I'm in Southwest Florida here, so like I haven't been up to Gainesville Vase, but it can get pretty windy.
That's good.
Here in Florida. Like, I mean, there are times where it gets up to 9, 10, 15 miles per hour just during the day. And I'm just like, I run daily and I hate it sometimes because I run in the afternoon. I typically run around college game time right now. And man, that wind will get you. It just comes out of nowhere. And it's hot wind too. So it's not refreshing. So I think that he's going to have to get used to the cold wind. That's about it. Maybe have to stick some footballs in the freezer and learn to kick that way. Gonna have to learn to kick cold footballs. Maybe they'll bring Mason Crosby in. Give him a few pointers.
I wouldn't be upset. Wait, didn't Crosby go to college in the Big Ten? No, he went to Colorado, right? Yeah, okay.
Colorado. I think Colorado, yeah.
Before we sign off the show, who do you think got the best number choice?
I'm not going to lie. Like, McClellan's
I really like Cisse at 2.
Hard, but Cisse at 2, yeah, it's tough. Oh, just there's something about McClellan's 55 for a defensive tackle. You're just like,
all people. Also, people were like, "Oh my God, why are they giving DDS 51? It's so ugly." Will Anderson wears 51. They're like the same body type.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Kind of. I don't know. I don't really want to say speak out of my butt there, but like visually scouting both players, they look pretty similar. Will's a little more twitched up, but that's fine. Jagger's got 52. That's an elite center number. That's what Creed wears, right?
I think so, yeah. Yeah. Dude, I forgot Keyshawn Nixon attended the same college.
Completely different players. Stop mentioning that. People are going to be...
I know. Dude, when I saw him mention, I need to learn. I'm ready to learn from Keyshawn Nixon.
Stay away from him.
What are you trying to learn?
How about you teach him things?
Yeah, learn to stay away. Yes. Learn to stay away.
Damani's got 20 and Trey Smack has 28. So, not 28. Yeah, 28.
28. Yeah, dude, Trey Smack.
People are like upset about it. 28's fine. Like he wore 29 in college.
It's fine. I'm actually fine with every single one.
The one
I
like the least is probably Damani's.
Like
it was Bullard.
20. Who was 20? Wasn't Hobbs 20?
Bullard's 7 now.
Oh no, Bullard. It was Bullard. Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
like who did they retire 3 for again? It's some like running back from like the 1930s, right?
Yeah, pretty much. They should unretire.
Not unretire it.
If the person
keep it on the rafter, just like let players wear the number.
Yeah.
Like if you had like Damani as like 3
like,
or
not
had
unretire
like even DDS as 3, like that would be fine. But so
yeah, I would be fine about that. But that is all for this episode. Next episode, the Packers signed some pretty interesting UDFAs
you might not have heard of before.
Potentially could make the roster. Yeah. You might not have heard. You might have heard of some of them though, if you would have listened to a couple of our podcasts, because quite a few of them actually we did mention. That is all, folks, for today. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with your family, friends, and anybody else too. You want to make your significant other more football inclined, this is the podcast for it. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.
To Packers fans coast to coast, thanks for going beyond the frozen tundra. We appreciate you tuning in. And as always, go Pack Go!